Hello, hi, it's Liz here. And the other day when I was doing my flip through of Daphne, I mentioned that I had a nature journal that I worked on a while back. It was before I was into making my own journals and junk journaling and that kind of style. And I used to use these traveller's notebooks and the bought inserts. And yeah, and a few people mentioned in the comments of that video that they would like to see a flip through of the older nature journal. I used to keep these journals at the same time as making cards, but now I have totally gone over to the junk journally, collage art journal type of arrangement. So this was a Webster's Pages traveller's notebook, which means it's got elastics, and you just buy these notebooks and slide them in. So let's have a flip through. 2019, so let's see, for 5 years ago. So it's some memories for me as well. So just a little collage. Obviously this was bought from a collection. I have no idea which collection that would have been from. But the first entry is March 2019. It just shows you how important I think it is to write roughly the dates, because when you look back on your journals, it is nice to think, when was that? When did that happen? So a flock of Canada geese have arrived at the Heritage Park. That's just across the road from us where we live just now. They come this time every year. Soon there will be goslings. And this, the first blossom in the park. It doesn't last long. The wind blew and the petals look like snow. So, and I've got a photograph of the blossom and a photograph of one of the geese and some bits and bobs of birds. Then there's this. This is just some collage, some nature-y inspired collage. And then there is this page, April 2019. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Again, just another general kind of collage. And then I started doing little watercolours. Spring Flowers watercolour, Liz, 28th of April 2019. I actually look at that and I think, you know, I did not a bad job. I think that's quite nice. And then these are pressed leaves from the Botanic Gardens on the 3rd of May 19. And a little background of leaves. So that's quite nice. They're real leaves that I must have picked up from the Botanic Gardens. And here we have Hubby and Millie. So it's Willie and Millie. Bluebells at Pollock Park. And then that's a bluebell leaf there, pressed. So I'm looking to see, and Millie is so much more white and then the muzzle now, and she looks really black there. So there we are. It's 5 years later. She's 8 now. So June, just a page with florally things, and then a bird spotting page, 12th of June and 5th of June, when I saw these bird spotting, and then a feather I must have picked up, put it on the bird spotting page. I haven't filled in any of the other ones when I've seen them. The butterfly and the bee. So this was a bush. I've printed off this photograph and it had a butterfly and a bee on the same bush, and I think that just tickled me a bit. So this is July. That's stenciled on there. And then a page about succulents. I think I got this from a magazine, and then a stamped I have a succulent stamp and some succulent washi tape. So September, and we're getting to autumn, and a photograph of some mushrooms, toadstools type thing. And then I stamped that out and coloured it on there. Autumn colours. And I know this clump of trees is in Newlands Park, and this is where we used to go quite a lot, because they converted the tennis court pavilion into a nice coffee shop, and it's lovely. We used to go there a lot. We've not been for a while. The weather's not been great because you've got to sit outside at the Dandelion Cafe because it's not dog friendly inside. And then this is another pressed leaf. This leaf has not fulfilled its death. It was picked from the ground in Newlands Park and is now in my journal. And it looks like I've stamped and drawn on it for some reason. Snowdrops. On this day, pure beauty. Photograph of some snowdrops. And then a little collage there in June 2020. And then we have lockdown, the daily lockdown walk. And this is in the park that's just a wee back onto the park. And there's Millie again. Squirrel, look, she's looking in there, paws up, looking for a squirrel. Oh, and another wee watercolour, a blue tit. Blue cap and yellow chest. The blue tit is a much loved visitor to our garden. His song is loud and high pitched and ends in a long rapid trill. July 2020. And that's my little drawing of a blue. There's more snowdrops. February 2020. And here's some bees. The hum of bees is the voice of the garden. Fir cones, another drawing, painting, and a photograph of a little bit from a paper. And you know, I look at this and I think this must be the start of where I started using bits of old books. This is an old dictionary, and you can sort of see the junk journal type of style coming into this book, I think. Spring vegetables. And there's another one of my little drawings, little paintings, a chaffinch. And then for sure at the end here, towards the end, here's some faux specimen cards. And I definitely have started going into that sort of style. And I think as well the book got quite hard to do things in. It started to bend quite a lot. So that's just a collage about leaves as well. And there's just some more. And I think some more pressed flowers. We're near the end. Oh, Snowy Walk, January 2021. And there's Millie with her winter coat on. Snowy Walk and a photograph of the snow. And that's where it ended. So it goes from 2019 to 2021, and there was only a couple of pages blank, but it got really hard, and actually I remember the book was falling apart and I had to use an elastic band to keep it together. So that was the nature journal that I did a while back. So while I was getting this out of the back of the bookshelf, I found these two as well. I thought you might want a wee quick look as to what other subjects I did in these travellers' notebooks. This one's not even in. Let's see if we can find and just push it in. There. They are quite good. These, and you could make these travellers. In fact, I think I did make a journaly style one with the elastics through the holes. So this one is 111 places, and what we did was we got this book and it tells you 111 places or things to see that you should go to when you visit Glasgow. And what we thought might be an idea, because you know what it's like, you live in a city and you don't see the places that you should go and see. And we thought, right, let's do this book, a record of our visits to the places listed in the book, 111 places in Glasgow that you shouldn't miss, which is this. And we recorded our visits. So this is a statue, and I wrote a little bit about the statue, and I put the number of it in, like they're numbered in the book. So there's number 54. So there it's there in the book, and there's our photograph of it. There's hubby sitting beside it, and there's me sitting beside it. So that's quite a nice memory, and that was September 2018. And here's another statue, number 18 in the book. It's most famous cartoon strip, Lobby Dosser, the sheriff. So we went to see that. And then number 81 is a huge big nappy pin at the hospital where the babies were born years and years ago. It's the Victorian hospital. It's not there anymore. This place, number 58, is a pub that's got little sheds round the back so that in the bad weather you can sit outside. Number 20 is the Lanes in Byres Road, which is in the West End of Glasgow. And then University Cafe. There's me peeking over the menu. Oh yes, and in true tenement style, a trip to the toilet is a bit of an adventure. They give you this huge big key, and the toilet's outside the cafe and down the close. This is the famous graveyard in Glasgow. And this monument is William Miller, because that was my dad's name. It turns out this William Miller wrote the Scottish nursery rhyme Wee Willie Winkie. I don't know if you've ever heard of Wee Willie Winkie, but you can Google that and have a laugh. The Cotton Rake Bakery, and then the Arboretum, where all the samples of the trees are, and the Botanic Gardens. There's hubby and Millie. And the subway. The subway dates from 1896, the third oldest in the world. The subway is a circle with two sets of tracks. Either way, you go through the same 15 stations. So our subway is really straightforward. It's clockwise and anti-clockwise, so you can never get lost. It's the same. It just might take you a bit longer. If you want to go from Kelvin Bridge to Cowcaddens, you can go clockwise and it's 2 stops, or you can go anti-clockwise and it's all those stops. But you never get lost if you get on the wrong direction. The Buffalo Bill statue, and he had a cone in his head, which was quite annoying, but that's the way of things in Glasgow. Quite often they put cones on heads of statues. This is the police box, and another statue there. The horse's articulated tail swings in the wind. The cathedral lamppost. This is Glasgow Cathedral, and they've got fancy lampposts. St Nicholas Gardens. Tam Shepherd's Trick Shop, famous in Queen Street. Used to go when you were wee and spend your pocket money there. Hutchison's Hall. And that's it. So we did quite a few, and actually we'll need to get back to doing it because that was November 2019, and of course COVID put stop to all these outings. So we'll need to get back into it. And this last one is coffee. I'll get coffee and then the world. And this is just little reviews of coffee places that we go to. Kelvin Grove Cafe, great location, lots of room inside, relaxed vibe, limited range of cakes, coffee okay, 3.5. And this was hubby that used to write these reviews and give them a mark. So Cotton Rake got a 4.5. The Coach House, which is in Luss down at Loch Lomond, very dog friendly inside. I had gingerbread and homemade soup. Decent coffee. Don't go too early or scones or soup not ready. Don't go too late as it is busy with the tourists. Located in an up and coming area of Glasgow. There we are. Sugar Boat, and that's in Helensburgh. Limited choice of cakes but nice quality. Nice bacon sandwich and big portion of pancakes. Best dog friendly cafe in Helensburgh. Cotel, we still go to Cotel a lot. Gets a 4. Seb and Millie, and that's who Millie is called after, but they've actually closed down now. So that's a pity. Broken Clock, we still go there. I knew it would get high because it's still very good. Look at these cakes, they're absolutely gorgeous. Urban West, 3.5, we've not really been back there. And that's it. So we stopped going, well, we haven't stopped going to coffee shops, we've just stopped recording them. We'll need to get back into doing that, taking a little picture of the coffee and what we get, because it's quite good fun to record the coffee stuff. This Sugar Boat, and that's waffles and Cotel. Coach House, look, gingerbread. Cotton Rake, there we are. Yeah, so that's the old journals that I used to keep. And yeah, so a wee flip through of times gone past. I hope you enjoyed that. And yeah, so if you did, a thumbs up would be great, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.